What's up, guys? Robbie Greenfield here to bring you another market insight on a weekly basis so that you can be as lazy as possible but still take the right actions on the right insights and understand how the market is evolving. So today we're going to be talking about 5 things: a BTC forecast, the Trump assassination attempt, or in the Trump pump effect that it is having on the market, the global election cycle and how the winners across many different nations are going to decide the technological future of blockchain technology as a whole, the German government finally stopping creating FUD within the market, given that it sold pretty much everything that it can sell, and last but not least, the multi-billion-dollar impact that phishing attacks are having on the market and likely on institutional investor participation in the near term. So let's get into it. So first up, the Bitcoin price forecast. Now guys, I really don't like doing this. The market is speculative enough. However, I have come to realize that my thoughts don't matter, and that the market is going to market whenever it can. As we know, at the top of the year, we had forecasts ranging from $60,000 to $150,000 at the end of the fiscal year in December 2024. Right now, the 5-day prediction on CoinCodex is $74,000 approximately, and the 1-month prediction is $84,000. So generally, there's bullish sentiment, but if we look at the other, forecasts from different sources, we have CoinMarketCap saying that experts suggest that Bitcoin could hit around $100,000 by the end of the year. And then we have Standard Chartered saying $150,000, which would be absolutely amazing. And God, please have that happen. And last but not least, we have CoinDesk saying analysts foresee as high as $83,000. So we're seeing the upper end, toward $100,000 right now. Obviously, a ton of bullish sentiment. And of course, there are a few key factors that are driving that sentiment in the geopolitical realms and also in the capital market realms as well, which we will get into. Next up, we have the Trump pump effect and the recent assassination attempt. So as you all know, this past Saturday in Butler, Pennsylvania, during a rally that Trump was holding, the former president was shot at multiple times by a 20-year-old by the name of Thomas Matthew Crooks, who killed one rally attendee and critically injured 2 others. Now, there is a lot of consternation with regards to the security detail that allowed this to happen, because Crooks was only 135 yards away. You can literally see him atop a building across from the stage to facilitate this near attempt. As you all probably have seen from the clips, Trump was pretty damn defiant. I'm not gonna lie. I ain't gonna say that I'm crazy about the man, but pumping a fist in the air after you almost get shot in the head is pretty G. Now, the way that the market has reacted to this has been very interesting, and what our people are calling is the Trump pump effect. And the Trump pump effect is this: that BTC rebounded 12.7% to $62,000 from $55,000 last week, 7% of which happened after the assassination attempt. And of course, MAGA coin, which is a Trump-affiliated meme coin, went up an astounding 46.9% after that assassination. To say, the least, I think that generally crypto is making its bet on a Trump candidate being elected, and of course that smells good for the industry given the many promises that Trump has made in the past, and of course after 4 years of regulation by enforcement by Biden's SEC. Next up, we got your update on global elections. And I know that 99% of you looking at this do not know who has won what election in which country over the course of this year. But what you do need to know is that there are a hell of a lot of elections that have a great deal of implications, not only for the geopolitical stage, which is constantly evolving and unfortunately seeming to be a lot more scary in general, but also obviously massive implications for the regulatory environment for the usage of blockchain technology and by extension of that, digital assets as a whole. So we are going to read this and we're going to be real quick. EU, European People's Party, neutral to pro-crypto, pro-regulation, won't attack crypto but open to it existing. France, New Popular Front Alliance, neutral, has not picked a prime minister yet, and we do not know how they are going to form new regulations around crypto, but we do know that France was one of the leading Western nations within the blockchain industry previously, given that they have already registered 74 crypto companies and were projected for that to rise to 100 within the year. Next, Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, neutral to pro. So she has a science education and background. She does want to impose a 20% tax in Mexico on crypto gains, but that does show an openness to having it as a part of the legal asset class infrastructure, within the kind of the Mexican economic system. After that, we have United Kingdom. We have Keir Starmer from the Labour Party. So this is pretty big, much like a landslide change in that of France from Macron's party to what we have in the Liberation Front. We have the Labour Party winning after 14 years of conservative rule. Now, the Conservatives in the UK have been very pro-crypto, so it'll be interesting to see if the Labour Party continues that trend. But what we do know is that the Labour Party has shown an interest in tokenizing the digital pound, which does imply that they are open to at least using blockchain technology more generally. After that, we have Indonesia. We have Prabowo Subianto, neutral to pro-crypto stance. Interestingly enough, his vice president is the son of the former president. Gotta love that nepotism. That former president was very, very, very pro crypto. Crypto had an unencumbered growth during his term, and of course, the son Gibran has also said that he is looking to build a blockchain expertise and core within the nation as well. So we have that as neutral to pro. We have Iran, Masoud Pezeshkian, and we have that at neutral. We don't have many thoughts from him on crypto itself, but we do know that he is a reformist. We do know that he's open to leveraging new technologies as long as that is aligned with anti-corruption and bettering the country's economy. So those things are positive, and at the least we can put him at neutral. And then last but not least, we have Pakistan, where we have a coalition government and neutral to pro. And effectively, the independent candidates associated with the former prime minister grabbed the most seats, the PTI party in particular. And generally, again, they're focused on anti-corruption, economic growth. And so, although they are a little bit trepidatious, about the criminal activity, associated with, crypto, they are open to leveraging it in a way that furthers, those particular, motifs or goals that they have. After going through a lot of global election results and their implications on the global regulatory environment for crypto, you know what I'm gonna ask you, right? What happened with that VIX? That VIX, come on guys, the volatility index. We need to know how these elections are affecting the volatility index, because we know there is a correlation between the volatility index and the crypto markets, namely Bitcoin, for all y'all Bitcoin maxis. So it's something you should know. And it's actually doing pretty well. Right now, or around this week, it was 12.79 the last I checked. In general, values above 30 are considered pretty bad, and the world is pretty much burning more than it typically is. But things under 20 indicate more stability. So despite a lot of the wars that are occurring around us, we're actually seeing an awakening in the changing of a lot of traditional regimes in a lot of these different countries that are more focused on giving the people what they need rather than being slaves to their colonial forebears and that of Western countries. And again, I'm just gonna be straight. That's what's happening. And that's actually one of the reasons why we see a great deal of de-dollarization right now as well, outside of the fact that many countries are afraid of being economically sanctioned and cut off from the few resources that they might have. And so the VIX is actually doing relatively well, which does set the stage for better stability within crypto markets as a whole. Now, we leave the world of Pakistan and we go to the world of Germany. who is finally done creating FUD in this freaking market. Now, Germany, obviously, they were well aware of what they were doing. And of course, it would have been much smarter, and actually many politicians within Germany's government said that they should just keep the seized BTC that they got. But you know what? We're just gonna wait a few months, and then we're going to just, really put it in the face later in the quarter. Now, I don't want to create any false expectations as to, BTC inevitably rising, but that's where a lot of the macroeconomic factors are going toward. Now, one important thing to note is that they are finally done because they have no Bitcoin left. This ended on July 12th, which they sold 3,846 Bitcoin for approximately $240 million, valued at around $62,604 per Bitcoin. And these funds were sent to Flow Traders and 139Po, entities likely to deposit those funds in institutional custodians within the market, namely Coinbase, Cefu, Fireblocks, or CopperCo, or that of the like. Last but not least, we have phishing attacks. So in just the first 6 months of this year alone, there has been $1.39 billion stolen by crypto hackers, and the leading method is phishing attacks, or sending a link or posing to be an application that is used by the identified target, only to steal effectively all their money. Usually it's by that person, mistakenly connecting their wallet to that particular site, and then of course draining their funds from there. And in particular, this has happened to a few protocols, including Lido and also to Compound. And in Compound's case, you can actually go to their domain, or at least this was true, and you would be redirected to that application under the correct domain. And so obviously this has stolen a great deal of people's money. Compound is a credit protocol that is really central to the broader Ethereum DeFi ecosystem, holding about $2.3 billion in total value locked, or assets under management, via the protocol. And so it's a rising problem. And just to contextualize this, at the same time last year, $637 million was stolen via the same methods. So just in a year time, we have seen double the amount of funds stolen by crypto hackers. And the reason why this is important is because if institutional investors who are willing to get into digital asset industry see a perceived risk of using these protocols, then the promise of using those protocols, at least directly, effectively fades away. And this is something that is actually tied directly to ETH's price action, in contrast to that of BTC's, which is usually driven by ETF inflows, at least over the last 6 months, and then of course also active addresses and overall transaction volume on the network. And so in the context of ETH's development, we need to create better security practices that lower the overall risk profile of digital assets more generally. And that is it. You are caught up. You're welcome. And I also thank you for even looking at this. And if you want to collab, if you have thoughts, if you disagree with anything that I said, please leave a comment, because I love to jostle with you. No, I'm playing. I love to get your thoughts. I appreciate y'all's time. And until next time, peace.